Transformers Legacy has given us some fantastic modern updates of Armada characters. So far we've gotten Starscream, Hotshot, and Megatron. But now we may have gotten our best modern Armada update yet, in the form of Commander Class Armada Universe Optimus Prime, who is going to be the subject of today's deceptibot9 review. So let's get super mode! How's it going, everyone? deceptibot9 here, and thank you, as always, for watching another episode of deceptibot9 reviews. Now, before we get into the robot, I would like to ask, if you like what you see, go ahead, hit that like button. Plus, if you are not already subscribed, go ahead, just hit that subscribe button already. It would really, truly mean a lot to me. Plus, if you want to find me anywhere else on the internet, all of my socials are in the description down below. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and power links our way down to the review station to check out Transformers Legacy Evolution Commander Class Armada Universe Optimus Prime. Alright, and here we are with Commander Class Armada Universe Optimus Prime, and we're going to start off in the alt mode this time, because that's how he comes packaged in the box, and I feel like it's easier just to start here with the vehicle mode. And yeah, as you can see, overall, I mean, it's great. It is a really nice looking modern update of that classic traditional Armada Universe design, from the front of the grille all the way up to the trailer with the boxes on the side. Everything about this is just absolutely marvelous. And I've noted in my past Armada reviews, I don't actually own any of the original Armada toys. My love for Armada comes mainly from, I had an official guidebook when I was younger that I looked at all the time, the PS2 game, and of course I watched the show. So while I don't have the toy knowledge to go on, I do have all of that other stuff to have a nostalgic attachment to Armada, and this is just hitting all of the boxes just right for me. So that's enough overview. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at the details on this guy all over. Alright, we'll start off here with the cab, and then we'll go ahead and look at the trailer afterwards. So, up here on the front, of course, we get this nice silver grille plate, which is, of course, very reminiscent to his original design. We get the headlights here on the front in silver, moving down here. These little pieces next to the roll bar here, done in red. We get the little pipe pieces next to them in silver. Of course, we get a little bit of silver paint up here on the top. The rest of it is done all up in that red. And you can see up here on the top, we get a little bit of these molded light detail, clear plastic for the windows all the way around there, and we get a little Autobot symbol piece right there, which we'll kind of talk about when we get to accessories. Coming over to, if you look, while we're at the top here, you can see everything from the top here. Of course, you can see the gold fists here in the back, a little bit of molded detail right here with a couple of 5mm pegs. There's one big peg, that's where the trailer pegs into, and you can see the fists molded from the top. Honestly, not a big deal to me. That's part of the design, part of the original design especially as well, the fists just hanging out there. Looking at the side, both sides are exactly the same, but you see you get, of course, the traditional Armada Prime smokestacks, which will turn into his guns in robot mode, and the big wheels here with the silver in the middle, all of them on pins, so of course he can roll, and he rolls very, very well. Absolutely love how well this guy rolls. Coming down to the bottom, not much robot kibble at all here on the bottom, which is fantastic to see. I mean, we can see some of the joints here over there, but there's a lot of molded detail going on with the rest of it because some of this stuff is going to turn into robot mode things. So yeah, I mean, if you want to even just use the truck by itself without the trailer, it's perfectly serviceable. It works very, very well. Of course, it at least hides the fists slightly better than the original toy. I know the original toy just has them sticking out there on the back, so at least these flip up and hide a little bit. But yeah, no, the truck itself is fantastic. I honestly absolutely love this little thing, so let's go ahead and bring in the trailer. Alright, and here is Armada Optimus Prime's trailer, and I am not going to lie to you guys when I say this is probably the best trailer that we have ever gotten in the modern generations line. This trailer is a complete piece that has a complete form and a complete function all around. And I'm not talking like the trailers that come with the Voyager class, I'm going to call them Optimus Primes, the ones that make them leader classes, sure, they have a complete form and a complete function, but they're just a hollow box, essentially, right? They're a hollow box that flips out. It looks great in trailer mode, I will not lie, and it just flips out and, it does its medical bay thing or its battle station thing, whatever it is, right? Commander class Rodimus Prime, his trailer falls in the same category, where it's just a big hunk of plastic that folds out, and it looks great in the trailer mode, but it doesn't do a lot besides folding out, right? Then we get to Motormasters. Motormasters was great, except for it's split up into a bunch of pieces to all form up into Menasor. And that worked very well for what Motormaster was doing, but this trailer here, no parts of this trailer come off to form any of its modes. So you get its trailer mode, you get a base mode, which is, it's a base mode, it's whatever, and you get the combined leg modes, and it's all just packed into this trailer here, so it's absolutely fantastic. But let's go ahead, peep those details really quick. In here, we got a little gun, little cannon, we got some painted in red, with a little bit of silver action going on there in the middle. We get some vent action happening here on the sides of those, very reminiscent of the original design as well. Not much going on here, just some panels here and there. We get some molded in, like rocket pieces going on, or rocket boosters, rocket launcher, there we go, rocket launcher going on down there. Here is the cannon, the weapon accessory, of course. Moving on to the side, we get all this nice blue and silver action, and mixed in with the regular gray going on here is terrific. Nice big red Autobot logo there on the side as well, plus all the little the little inlines parts of the trailer. Lots of molded detail happening down here on the bottom tread section, and here even at the actual tread section itself, you can see a lot of mechanical detail and whatnot going in there. He's got 2 plastic wheels on the trailer, so the trailer will roll, of course, if you're pulling it along with the regular figure. Serviceable wheels, nothing absolutely crazy there. There is the big peg for the hitch, so if you want to just slide those in together, and you get your complete looking truck trailer going on right there just like that. But as you saw as well, if you flip these little things down on the back sides of the big boxes, you can use those as trailer stands, so it can stand up by itself. And if we look here on the back, last thing we're going to take a look at on the back, it's just, this is just kind of where the rest of the stuff goes. This is the combining piece for the super mode, so a little bit of red, a little bit of gray, a little bit of blue here, and this is the waist skirt, so you get a little bit of gold going on here with a little bit of molded detail on the blue. But I think it looks absolutely fantastic, and it does its job very, very well. So let's bring the cab back in here, and we will go ahead and do some comparisons now. Alright, here he is with the rest of the Legacy Armada squad. So far we've got Starscream, Hotshot, and Megatron, and so far they are a fantastic looking bunch. I absolutely am just loving what they're doing with the Unicron Trilogy stuff in Legacy so far, and I can't wait for more. Here is Legacy Armada Prime with Siege Galaxy Upgrade Prime, who is this Prime in a later iteration of the trilogy, obviously. And this figure was good for the time that it came out. I was happy to get it as a kid who loves Cybertron, because that's my G1. Cybertron is my G1, so I was loving that we were getting representation. I think this version of Optimus Prime desperately needs an update in the style of this version of Optimus Prime. This Cybertron Prime would greatly benefit from a Commander class price point where all of the pieces have their own utility and they can all form a really great super mode instead of being a retool of Kingdom Magnus. But there they are. Here's Armada Prime with Commander class Jetfire, our first Commander class, so you can kind of see how we've changed in 5 years. And here's Armada Prime with our most recent, up to this point, Commander class figure before him, Transformers Legacy Motormaster. Alright, so that's going to be about it for the vehicle mode of Armada Optimus Prime. So let's go ahead and run through the transformation. We're going to do the cab into robot mode and the trailer into base mode. is Armada Prime, transformed up into his main core robot mode, and the trailer transformed up into its base mode. I love the main core robot mode. The main core robot mode is super sweet. The base mode, I mean, it's whatever, at least for right now. It definitely feels like it's something that's meant for the mini cons, but as of right now, we do not have any mini cons. Except for they did reveal at SDCC, we will be getting some mini cons here in the form of the Shattered Glass, Rodimus, and Sideswipe 2-pack. We'll have a Whisper mini con to go with Sideswipe, and they're doing a redo of, or a redeco of Armada Hotshot with Jolt, which looks very exciting. But as of now, no spark plug or anything for Optimus, which is, I wish he did come with a spark plug. I just hope we get one in the future now that they have confirmed mini-cons are happening, and maybe the mini-cons will fit better with this base, but for right now, yeah, it does look a little silly with Prime. So let's go ahead, take a closer look at the details on these two forms. Alright, we'll start with the core robot first, and we'll get a look at that head sculpt, which looks absolutely amazing. I absolutely love how good that looks. Very evocative of the original design, of course, done up in an all blue with gold on the crest, little yellow eyes in there, and the silver faceplate, all typical for Optimus Prime, but I absolutely love it. Coming down to the sides of the shoulders here, we just get some red with some black line detail painted in here, the big wheels, and of course this was the front of the truck. Moving here to the front, the chest rather, the grill has now become the chest. We got a little bit of yellow or gold action happening there in the middle, all done up in the silver, and of course we'll show this off here. He does have the Matrix of Leadership in there, done up all in yellow with a little bit of clear plastic there for that, so that looks absolutely great. We'll talk about that again when we get to accessories. Moving over to the arms here, we can see we've got a little bit of gray for the joints. We got silver over here for the guns, of course, which were the smokestacks in robot mode. These are 5mm. If you want to put blast effects on there, of course, we always love to do that. We got his hands now fully exposed, done up in all gray with all the finger detail molded in there. A little bit of gray happening underneath here, all blue here on the skirt piece and the waist piece there in the middle, and to the side we got a bit of gold trim. That was the side of the truck, obviously. There's all that molded detail on the back. From the top of the truck is now the back of the skirt, and here is the rest of the figure. Obviously, a lot of truck pieces going on there on the back. His hands are still peeking out back here. We'll get to you guys in just a minute. Coming back to the front, get a little bit of silver, nice molded detail going all over here on the shin. I absolutely love it, and the blue feet. So yeah, I mean, overall, this Optimus Prime, he's got it all. I mean, he's full of detail. He looks great. He's got a lot of paint and everything. So part of the benefit of being a smaller commander class is you get a little bit more of that detail and paint work brought in. So yeah, anyway, that's about all the detail for the core robot that we can cover. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the base mode here. And yeah, I mean, this is about it for the base mode. Nothing really crazy or exciting going on, in my opinion. We get, of course, just the gun part here now moved from the front of the trailer to the front of the gun, or the front of the base, rather. This is on a swivel there. I'm not even going to bring this back out for articulation in a minute. So yeah, that swivels, because why would I? You can plug the gun in a variety of places here because there are 5mm ports everywhere. As you can see, here it is flat. You know, it's just the trailer kind of sprawled out and spread out all around. The treads have moved their way up to the front. There's this big piece right here, which I believe you can... I mean, you can rest a blast effect in there. It's kind of a big port, so, you know, this is most likely, I'm going to guess, this is going to be used because it's not... This port right here isn't used for anything. In combined mode or vehicle mode or in this robot mode. I'm going to take a guess and say that this is going to come up later to combine with Jetfire or Overload, I think, yeah, Overload, yeah. I have a feeling that's going to come back for a combined mode with Jetfire and or Overload, which would be fantastic. But yeah, I mean, it's the base mode. It's a typical kind of base mode where everything is all kind of splayed out. Enough of that. Let's bring the core bot back in. And we'll talk accessories really quick. So accessories really only comes with two, basically. So as we saw earlier, of course, he does come with the Matrix of Leadership, which is stored here in his chest. You can just remove it. It's just on a little 5mm peg. There is the inside of the chest cavity, and here is the Matrix itself with a little gem in the middle. It's just clear plastic painted in gold. He can't hold it. There's no way for him to hold it, but it can just sit in his chest there and look cool, which is what we always love the Matrix to do. The only other true accessory that he comes with is his blaster. Well, unless you count these, so we'll count those in a minute. But he comes with his blaster, his big old black ion blaster, which is done, of course, as I just said, in all black, with some nice molded detail all around. Honestly, a couple 5mm ports there, and one here on the front. So, of course, if you wanted to slap a blast effect in there, you absolutely could. If you wanted to put them in the sides, you absolutely could do that as well. And of course, because it is just a 5mm peg, you can put it in his hands or really wherever else you want it to go. For me, honestly, it looks a little big in his hands in the core bot, so I usually reserve the gun for the super mode. And in robot or in core mode, I stick with the little smokestack guns that are on his arm. So these actually come unattached in package. So there's two of these guys. Oh, he's just gonna fall, that's fine. Two of these guys, of course, very reminiscent of their original design. I absolutely love them, done up in a silver paint with just gray plastic molding, and they fit nicely here into the 5mm ports on the arms. But you can also stand up, Optimus, put them on the sides of the gun, which is how they came packaged, so you can do a big old maximum firepower thing with that. But honestly, in my opinion, they're gonna stay on the arms at all times because they're just that cool. And I did mention in the details section one thing we would talk about in accessories. That is the Autobot badge. Now, the reason I said we would mention this in accessories is because the Autobot badge is on a 5mm peg, and it comes out. It's done in clear plastic, painted in gold, with a little bit of white backing and a red Autobot symbol. So you can put it anywhere on the figure, but it's interesting that they're going to remove that because I have a feeling that that means that's going to get used later for something. Some people with a little more knowledge of the Armada toys might know if that is a feature reminiscent of the original designs or anything at all. To me, it's just a nice little fun thing that might hint towards the future of this figure. So, all right, let's go ahead now that we've covered all the details and accessories and stuff. Cover articulation on this core bot. So up on the head, it is on a ball joint. You can get it swiveling all the way around. He can rock side to side. He can look up and down that far. Arms go all the way around like that. They go up that far. They are kind of on hot rod shoulders-ish. So, you know, take that as you will, but they go up that far. They swivel here at the bicep. He does have double elbow joint, which gets his arm bending all the way that far in, which is incredible. He's got a swivel here on the wrist. Now, the downside about this core mode, I wish he desperately had this, but there is no waist articulation. Nothing here, just due to the way the super mode conversion works, which is slightly disappointing, but at the same time, the super mode is pretty good, so I'm not going to complain too much. Legs go forward that far, they go backward. Depending on how far you move back the skirt, they go back that far on a nice ratchet. Splits. Yeah, I'll give him a 9.5 on that. His crotch gets in the way, but whose crotch doesn't get in the way when you're a guy doing the splits? Swivel here at the thigh, knee bend here, goes back 90 degrees on a nice soft ratchet, and of course, as always, ankles pivot all the way in. The toes go up and down as well to move all the way around, just like that. So, yeah. I mean, the core bot is pretty fairly posable, but he's got pretty much everything you would expect aside from the waist swivel, which is slightly disappointing, but they needed to compromise that in order for the super mode to work, and that I understand. So let's do a couple quick comparisons here with the core Optimus Prime. All right, here he is with our Legacy Armada squad. So you can kind of see he's a bit in between Leader and Voyager size when he is in his core mode here. And it fits very well for Optimus Prime, in my opinion, to be that much shorter than Megatron. Yeah, looks good. Here he is with the core bot from the Siege Galaxy Upgrade Prime, which looks nothing like the core robot of Cybertron Prime, which is why I also think Cybertron Prime needs a more modern update. Here he is with Jetfire, and finally with Motormaster. Alright, now let's get this Optimus Prime all transformed up into his super mode. Alright, now that we got the two halves ready, let's get back a little and get them combined. And here he is transformed up into his super mode, and I absolutely love this mode. It is so amazing how cool this thing is. I absolutely love the super mode. Like I said, not having a waist swivel in the core mode is totally made up here in this super mode, because this thing is so cool. So that's enough overview of it. Let's go ahead and check out its details. Coming up first here, obviously, with the head sculpt, and it is terrific. I love this super mode head sculpt so much, with the gold crest up at the top, the gold faceplate, and the gold pipes off to the side. It's always been one of my favorite Optimus Prime head designs. It's just so cool. There's something I love about it so much. You can see the smokestack sticking up here in the back, which is great. Of course, fists are sticking up on the top. Nothing really major, no problems there. All this red going on here around the front. We got grays going on. Here is that piece, that missile rack piece that was in the back, or the underside of the trailer. Now it's on his back, and the fun thing about this is each of these ports are 5mm compatible, so you can really go crazy with the blast effects up there. Absolutely love it. Coming down here to the front now, you can see here is the front of the truck, kind of fully formed up as the chest. Obviously, here's this piece that was part of the trailer is now forming that connection. We get the gold, of course. All this skirt stuff is now the top shoulders. The legs here now are the arms. All that detail in there is great. Finally, we get to see these fists in their proper form. They are done up all nice and gold with individually molded fingers and stuff. 5mm ports in the middle. Got the gun being held over there. Obviously, just incredible. Coming down to the legs, what were the trailer is now. We've got the blue with the molded details and the gold here on the skirt. The Autobot symbol pieces are now the side skirts here. And moving down, we get to see the legs now fully formed in their whole being. We get the little the posts that were the trailer stand-ups are now on the knees with all this nice gold trim around it. Looks very, very nice. This side panel that was the side of the trailer, you can see the molded detail there with some 5mm pegs, and you can see just the rest. This is the box. Now we got the foot down here, the black foot, and the missile rack that was the front of the trailer and the front of the base is now the back sort of flap, which, you know, it is kind of unfortunate that there is a big old flap there, but it is accurate to the cartoon and toy models, so, you know, you do what you gotta do. But yes, there is Armada Super Optimus Prime, and I just love him, guys. I am having so much fun with this guy. He's just everything that a Unicron Trilogy kid could dream of in the modern day, just like my friend Cybertron Metroplex back there. So yeah, this makes me very, very happy. No real extra accessories to cover in this mode. Of course, he just does have the one big gun, and the Matrix is now hidden in the back, so you can't access that. But let's go ahead and cover Articulation on Super Mode. It's actually kind of a lot more posable than I was expecting. You know, the original Armada toy is not posable at all. But this guy fully is. So coming up here first, the head sculpt here, the head is on a wonderful ball joint that gets it rocking side to side, looks up that far, down that far, it swivels all the way around. Absolutely terrific. If you want to pivot the smokestack pieces back, you can do that. They're on hinges. Arms here is where it can get a little tricky. So there is a big old ratchet here at the actual shoulder piece that goes all the way around. The actual leg, or the arm piece, I guess, the former leg, this piece is still on its articulated hinge. If we open this shoulder piece up, you can see it is still on that hinge there. So sometimes you'll want to try to pivot that forward because the ratchet is stronger on the arm. So it might not always move if you're grabbing it down here. So I would grab it up here by the actual shoulder piece. But yeah, so these can go out that far. They could also technically go forward, I guess, if you open the flap up, if you want them to go that far forward. They swivel here at now the bicep. Elbow now goes all the way just about 90. That is just about 90. The hands here are on a swivel as well all the way around. The fingers articulated as well, open up just like that, look great. And the waist here, if you move some of these pieces out of the way, the waist is swivel right here. It swivels all the way around, which is awesome. One thing I wish about the waist, though, is I do wish the waist swiveled up here at the red part rather than at the skirt piece, but honestly, it's such a small thing that I don't really mind. It just would help with a little bit of dynamics. Legs here go forward if you move all the skirt pieces out forward that far, so all the way forward, and they can only go back that far, unfortunately, because this is super blocked by everything else back here, but honestly, not a big deal. And for the splits, how does Super Mode Optimus Prime do with the splits? Well, I mean, I'll give him a 9 because his backpack piece does get in the way, but he can split all the way out to the front. You can see that. Absolutely tremendous. We do love that as well. I wish those were ratchets because on my copy they are a little loose. I wish they were just a little bit tighter, but anyway. Swivel here at the thigh right there. Knee joints are on tremendous ratchets, and they go all the way 90 degrees, which is spectacular, and I love the ratchets in those. Very, very nice and heavy. Wish they were on the upper part as well. And down here at the feet, of course, they hinge all the way in just like that. The toes can go up if you wish them to, and the heels don't really do much. But yeah, so honestly, Armada Super Optimus Prime here, very, very posable. Like I said, I wasn't really expecting him to be as posable as he is, but I absolutely love seeing it out of this guy. So let's go ahead and do a couple comparisons now. Here he is with the rest of the Armada squad. You can definitely see he is trumping everybody in size now. Megatron's definitely going to need Tidal Wave here pretty soon to catch up with that. Here he is with Siege Galaxy Mode Prime, and yeah, I wish we can get a Prime that is this design, but this size, this complexity with the Super Mode. I'd absolutely love it. Here he is in Super Mode with Jetfire. You can see he's a little bit shorter than Jetfire, but he's pretty close, honestly, maybe about a head or two taller, and they'd be the same size. And of course, here is Super Mode Optimus Prime with Motormaster. Alright, so that's gonna about do it for my closer look here at Legacy Evolution Commander Class Armada Optimus Prime. So let's go ahead and, I don't have a good pun, go back up to me for my final thoughts. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on Legacy Evolution Commander Class Armada Prime here? Well, he's so great. He is so fun. As a kid of the Unicron Trilogy, I absolutely love everything they've been doing with the Unicron Trilogy and Legacy, but this guy is like the top of the cake. He is the middle of the cinnamon roll. This guy is the absolute best. I love him so much. The core robot is fantastic. Vehicle mode is great. I love this trailer. It's probably the best trailer we've ever gotten in Generations. It does something. It has form and function in all of its modes, and he's one complete thing. Nothing comes apart. I just absolutely love it. And the super mode is fantastic. A very worthy modern update to the original Armada design and figure. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for my full review of Transformers Legacy Commander Class Armada Universe Optimus Prime. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts on this Commander Class figure down below. And now that we have 5 years of Commander Class figures, I think I'm going to do an updated Commander Class ranking here soon, because I love the Commander Class, man. They're really fun. So go ahead and let me know down below your thoughts on Commander Armada Optimus Prime. Which Armada characters do you want to see next from Transformers Legacy? I would love to see Tidal Wave, Cyclonus would be great, and especially Demolisher. So let's talk all things Legacy Armada in the comments down below. And guys, that brings us to the end of another episode of deceptibot9 Reviews. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you for watching. I do really truly appreciate it. As always, I've been your host deceptibot9. Thank you as always for tuning in, and I will see you guys later.